Hi guys, welcome to Simproved, Fry speaking here, and welcome back to another Sims 4 speed build. Today we are going to build a little laundromat slash cafe since the new stuff pack for The Sims 4 came out, I think today. EA was so kind to give me a pre-release key, and I also already did a review on that stuff pack if you're interested. But of course, since we got laundry and like all these really, for me personally, annoying washers, I think I've told you that in a couple of videos already, I thought of course we can build maybe a laundromat. And where should I put a laundromat better than of course onto our Willow Creek Campus world that we are building together, guys. And you can already see that I will place it in this really large building. It's of course next to the shopping, like in the shopping district, and you can already see the Starbucks and the bookstore and the department store next to it. And we won't finish this huge build, we will like add to it with different shops, and one of the first shops that I will put in there is of course the laundromat, and I will also transform it into a cafe, since laundry is not, I think, possible on other community lots, since it's only working, like your Sims only generate dirty clothes on their own home lot, which is really cool because I hate laundry, so that's awesome. But I thought since it's not like a usable laundromat, we will also turn it into maybe a cafe looking thing, which is something that I used myself in some years ago. I was living in a really small apartment. You guys know that I live in a very big city, and I had a really small apartment, so there was really no space for a washing machine and all that stuff. And there was a laundromat really near me, and it was also a cafe. So while you are eating, or like eating your croissant or whatever, drinking your coffee, you could wait there for your clothing to be ready. And that was something that I always thought is a really cool concept, because you have to wait either way and you still have your washing machine that you are using there. Like you can watch it, you know, that nobody steals your clothes and everything. So that was always pretty cool. Also, you got to know lots of people that also live in like really tiny apartments, and it was kind of a really nice community thing, in my opinion. I always kind of made me like to do laundry. Back then it was like kind of a let's go out thing, you know, so that was pretty cool. And I wanted to have something like this here on campus as well, since our students in the student dorms, and maybe also the ones that live in these little buildings next to it here, have really small apartments, because yeah, they can't afford that much. So they will use maybe the laundromat and also have maybe the same cool cafe experience that I had when I was younger. Just saying that I was younger. So yeah, you can see me that I wanted to do, or like at least wanted to use some of the new windows of the new laundry stuff pack, and I also wanted to go a little bit more modern here. So this is like an old building, I think, yeah, like the other ones are too. This is something how all these typical, I would say, city buildings look like, for example in Berlin or all throughout Europe, in my opinion. And I really like that, and I wanted to transform this, or like put this also in our games, and especially use this for Willow Creek Campus. And these kinds of buildings sometimes get renovated a lot and have some really modern influences, like the huge windows that you can see upstairs, and I will also use them downstairs in the laundromat, for example. So this is like something that you see a lot also here in Europe, but I'm pretty sure maybe in the USA you have these kinds of buildings as well. Yeah, the first thing I did is to just do the outside, I think, facade of it. There won't be much in it, since we will build on this lot a little bit more in the upcoming videos, and kinda, you know, make it ready for use for you guys in the game. everything is fully furnished and functional in my opinion. Also, I decided to go again with a red roof since the other two have a red roof as well, and it made me think that maybe the campus dorm set is like the fourth building on the other side of this lot on the street. Maybe I put it in a red roof as well, so it looks a little bit more coherent, our little neighborhood here. But yeah, it was kind of challenging to do something different since they're all really boxy, and I wanted to go with a modern kind of healthily renovated look, I think. And upstairs I'm also already pretty sure that I want to put like a restaurant on there, because I think rooftop restaurants are really cool. And it's something that we have a lot here in the city as well, since yeah, the space is really cramped and the rents are really high. So we have these kinds of buildings that are full with shops, but they have been, I think, of course, maybe apartment houses once in a while, but now they are all shops. So this is something, or like a layout that I use a lot here on this street. And yeah, I'm really happy how it turned out so far. And the interior design, of course, I try to use, or will use, a lot of the new Laundry Day Stuff Pack objects. And if you have seen my review, by the way, I will put this, of course, in the video description down below if you want to look at it. But I was kind of feeling that there are two major themes in this stuff pack. One is the rustic boho country chic, and the other one is the modern laundry assets like the washing machine, the dryer, and all that stuff. And I decided to go with a laundromat and cafe, and since we have so many rustic country chic items, to go with a very natural herb tea cafe thing, which is something that is really in right now here in Germany. So there are these, it's hard to explain, but I guess like the whole theme is vegan, natural, and you can get like teas that they made from self-grown herbs and all that stuff, and it's like super fair trade and like super good and healthy for you. So basically this kind of cafe it will be, since all the objects are pretty rustic and have lots and lots of flowers. So we think, or I thought that it would be really cool to combine these two things, although they are pretty weird, kind of not really fitting together, but I tried my best to put them together, and I really liked how it turned out, because it has this kind of flair that the cafe had where I went to when I was younger, so that's pretty cool. So I decided to put some of these washing machines and of course dryers there on one wall, and then I placed the bar in the middle. It's a bar, it's not going to be the cafe object, since I think that not all of you have maybe the get together pack, and I think with the get together expansion pack came the cafe option, but the bar option is from the base game, so I chose the bar option. Also, take note that your Sims can get behind the bar, so it's not like a fully functioning bar right now, but when we will do like the rest of the house, I will place like a door on one side or something. So there will be a functioning bartender behind the bar, of course. I hope so that it will work. But yeah, we will make it work, of course. Then I wanted to place a clothing line, like a little, I don't know, like a decorational object over the bar, but this is not possible, which is a super big bummer. Even if you have the Move Objects cheat activated, you can only place the clothing line outside, which is something that I don't like at all. For example, I myself, since Germany is pretty cold and rainy, can't put my stuff like on the clothing line outside at all. So we always put these on the clotheslines inside, and then have usually like a little, like the bigger apartments, of course not my apartment, but have like a little room for it, like an extra room that is called the washing room. So you have like a washing machine and maybe a dryer if you have one. And then you can put your clothing line inside, like covered from the rain and the cold from outside. So this is something that I didn't get why the developers chose that way, because now I can't like build these super typical German rooms that are these typical, I don't know, like laundry rooms, I think I would call them. But yeah, so it will be really cramped. I will of course use also other stuff from other stuff packs, but I think 80% of all the objects inside are from the Laundry Day stuff pack. But maybe you will see some that are from other stuff packs as well, since I thought, for example, the Get to Work thing, I think, came with lots of these bottles and little tea kettles and all that stuff. So I thought these are perfect, of course, for a cafe bar thing. And I also wanted it to make it look like a living room almost, like a really cozy living room, because the cafe I was talking about that I went to was exactly like this decorated. It looked like a living room, and there were like even pictures of people on the wall and magazines lying everywhere and people just, you know, reading the magazines and talking about the new political stuff or something. It was so much fun. And I thought this is like the perfect place. I want to do something like this here in The Sims 4 too. And I'm really happy how it turned out, but it looks really special, I think, to other laundromats that you may think of when you hear the word laundromat, because usually these are just really boring halls with all these washers and dryers, and then there's maybe like a little counter in the middle so you can fold your clothes and then you just leave. That's it. But I thought that would be too boring, especially for my little campus here. We have to use all the lots and space that we have and have really different kind of shops and buildings, so it never gets boring to play in my campus, of course. And yeah, I hope that I can achieve this. Also, there's like a big thing in this new pack that I already told you about in the review. You can put or collect flowers, like normal flowers that the Sims can collect already through the base game, and then they can put it into the washer, I think, or in the wash tub, and then your clothes are scented like the flowers, for example. I think it also works with rotten food, so you can make your clothes stink a lot. So if you are a mischievous Sim or just like that your Sims stink all the time, then you can do this as well. But I thought, since this is like also a very herbal, I don't know, like, why do I always say vegan? But you know, these vegan, fair trade, natural people. Like, I would like to be that someday, but it's like really hard to get your normal lifestyle adjusted to this. But I think maybe they don't wash with detergent, like normal detergent. It's like a special laundromat cafe where you can they have like their own herbs and everything that they put to your washing, so, or your clothes in the washer. So they smell nicer and are like, I don't know, fair trade and super duper cool, I don't know. But yeah, that was like the main idea, because all the objects that came with the pack are more than like a rustic country chic, I think. And also we had lots of herb rags and like the wreath and wrath, I never know how to pronounce that one. And lots of potted plants and succulents of flowers. So I thought, since I wanted to use almost all the objects from the pack, that this makes sense. So maybe you can go there with your dirty clothes, choose the herbs, buy the herbs there, put it in your washer, and then wash them like with these herbs that they offer there. And of course drink your own tea and all that stuff. So that was like the basic idea of this whole lot, and I really hope that you like it, guys. It's really cramped and it's super decorated. I really hope that I can make this work into a bar. So far I haven't uploaded this to the gallery, since we still have to, you know, add to the whole community lot, like this whole building, so I can make it work into a bar, which basically just means I need a door to the bar, or maybe delete one of the counters or something. But yeah, this is basically the whole build. I went with a very white and brownish colors, which I really liked, and I thought that suited like the whole laundromat cafe thing maybe. And also I highly decorated it like you can see already, with the herbs and all the ironing boards and all that stuff. So those are highly just, you know, for decorational purposes, since our Sims can iron their clothes now. I thought maybe they include that into the pack, but I didn't. But yeah, I really enjoyed building this. It's something special. It's like not, like I said, the typical laundromat you were thinking of. But keep in mind that something like this exists in real life, and they are pretty amazing. I really liked doing laundry back then, and I hate doing laundry now. But it's really cool. You just have to imagine that you have like a cycle. For example, I always went on Thursdays, And I knew, for example, the same people came Thursdays, so you already knew each other, because Thursdays was laundry day, and then we all just like sat together and drank coffee and all that stuff. So that was pretty cool, and I want to recreate that with my Sims in The Sims 4 here as well. And yeah, it was kind of almost a nostalgic thing to build. But yeah, I really like how it turned out, and I really hope that you like it as well. Keep in mind that I won't provide the download link now. Maybe if the whole building is like done and full, you will see this in a couple of videos that will come up next weeks, and then maybe I will place like the download link down below as well. But yeah, that's the whole build for you guys. I really hope that it could inspire you. Maybe you could see what you can do with all the objects from the new stuff pack if you are, like I already said, into the very rustic country chic. I think that's a really nice stuff pack. It adds to that kind of style a lot. If you're more into modern things, then I think, in my opinion, there aren't much things that are in this stuff pack that could interest you. But either way, we all know that there are some people that will get the pack anyway because they want to have every pack. Then there are some that wait for the bundles, then they have all the packs as well. But they have to wait till, you know, other packs come out so they can do or put out the bundle. And either way, I think it's a pretty solid stuff pack. I myself like these kinds of objects, but then again, I like to build in The Sims 4, so I like to have all the stuff packs as well. And yeah, I really like how it turned out and hope that you like it as well. And yeah, that's basically it. I really hope it could inspire you. Please enjoy the upcoming video tour of this laundromat cafe, and I will see you soon. Bye bye!